talk about you. Our
Okay.
favorite topic for the next half hour is Jean Marie.
Right.
So I saw your email yesterday
Right.
about Deanne, and I guess my response is I'm about as successful convincing Deanne to apologize as I am to convince you to mediate. So,
Right. Well, I mean,
to me it's the same. I mean, I can suggest things.
Right. Well, I don't think they're one and the same, though, because I know that there's been a history. It's documented that there's been a history. We've had meetings here with Barbara and other senior counsel based on lies that were said. Some of these lies didn't come to my attention until I was told by Barbara or by Michelle, or something's happened in the office to bring it about. So it's not like it's all been said to me directly, or I somehow found this out on my own. And we used to have many meetings to discuss these. And certain of the lies that have been said in staff, it's been well known, and we haven't really had a proper response to it. So that's my concern. And of course, it's now come to me that while I was on vacation, she's yet gone again and said another lie. And I've been more than patient. This is almost 4 years now that I've had to.
Are we talking about Carol or Deanne?
We're talking about Carol, not Deanne.
Sorry.
No, I'm just trying to separate.
Yeah.
But you can't compare the two. We're talking about someone's behavior that is harmful, is detrimental to my health here in the office, and when someone's spreading things that are lies, that are hurtful and malicious, even including a letter with things that were said that were absolutely untruthful, then there's a problem. And she's spreading these lies to other people. That's how it's come to my attention on vacation, because she said I swore at her. So it's not black or blue, and I was a little bit surprised when your letter indicated, because it seems to be a finding that she is unaware of my perceptions. She's very much aware. We've had meetings to discuss her behavior, the different lies that she's told in the past and stuff. So, and obviously, she said I swore at her, and I didn't swear at her. She's very much aware of that. And not only did she tell one person, but what I've been told is that she went around and told different people this. So
here's my view, because
Right.
you put me in a difficult position. I thought I came up with, and I said it was based on my experience with workplace issues, and I have
Right.
tremendous experience dealing with workplace issues. Mediation is very effective. And so for me to, sort of put that on the table for you to explore and move Carol to the point where she's prepared to put it on the table as well. I mean, I guess I'm a bit flummoxed, to be honest with you, Marie, that you wouldn't take that up as a possible solution. And I don't know how you would suggest we move forward, because now we're back to she said, he said, she said, and which is not constructive. And this is a professional branch.
Yeah, but it hasn't been operating like a professional branch.
But a professional branch, in my mind, would solve problems, and that's a solution
I think
for you.
it's different if we're
explore.
talking about people who just, for some reason, there's a conflict in terms of their personality. When we're talking about someone who's deliberately lying and making up stories about someone and not doing, just you can choose to accept it or not. I'm not telling you that you have to accept it. I'm saying that you can certainly investigate it, and I would expect you to investigate it, because there are situations here that have been documented, so you'll be able to ascertain. Right? It's just like when one goes to court and litigates.
Sure, but that's not the process. The process is not me investigating. The process is me resolving and attempting to get people to play in the sandbox together.
Well, I don't consider this like playing in the sandbox. This is something that has been very harmful and very hurtful, and it's something that I've endured for quite a long time, and I've been wrong. Well, I'm saying the solution isn't for me to sit down with the mediator when what you do when you're sitting down with the mediator, it's giving weight. It's as if there's, not a clear victim here. I'm a clear victim. This is no different than if a woman came to you and she said, I'm being sexually harassed by someone in the office. Would you be telling her to sit down? I expect you to be professional. I expect you to, just some of the things that I found in that email. I don't think you understand the significance, how this has impacted on my life, that she's spread these lies to other people, and that it has made my life here, my experience, very, very difficult. I have overlooked and I have forgiven, but there's only so much. I do not feel safe in her presence. I feel that if she's willing to continue with these lies and say anything, that she will do it again, and I shouldn't have to be in this situation. I do not wish to work with her. I cannot trust her. This is something that's been ongoing for almost 4 years, and I have been professional and I have been long-suffering. And so to say that we should mediate when someone's lying, if she needs professional help about her lying, then that's one thing. There's nothing a mediator can do, and to put us in the same place as if there's not a clear victim here. I'm not saying you have to accept what I'm saying. I'm saying I'm the one who came to you with this issue. So if, let's investigate. Let's start questioning people. Let's go through the history. Let's go through the meetings and stuff that we've had here at Carol.
Well, then,
I think that's what we're going to have to do. I will not work with her.
Well, I think then I'm really disappointed, I have to be honest. I'm very disappointed. That's not what a mediator does. I don't know if you've ever used a mediator. A mediator investigates and makes recommendations, right? A mediator is there to see what they can find out that you can hear from her side. Maybe it was everything from a misunderstanding to unacceptable behavior. And the mediator works with the most hideous, complex situations. I've used mediators in toxic workplaces to try and restore some kind of healthy, safe environment for staff. That's what a mediator is doing.
Right. Well, as far as I'm concerned, this is a toxic work environment. What I'm saying is I cannot continue to work with her. I've worked with her after the different things that she said when we've had our meetings, and it's come out that she actually lied. And as I said, some of these lies were unbeknownst to me. It's just as a matter of chance that it's been brought to my attention based on something I was saying to someone or whatever, and then I heard that there was this big woven, fabricated story. So for you to be disappointed, I'm disappointed that I've actually had to experience this for almost 4 years. I'm disappointed that it's created for me a very toxic work environment, and that it's somehow being treated as if I'm not being truthful and upfront. I'm not saying don't investigate. Investigate, that's absolutely fine. But for me to hear that Carol supports the issue and that she does not have, it's not like the letter even, your email even said, you know what, Carol has stated this. Carol has is unaware of your perception. Carol is very much, but
that's her point. You have to put yourself in my shoes. When I raise these things to staff and say, these are the serious allegations I'm hearing. Right. I need to hear their side of the story. Well, what I'm conveying to you is she doesn't agree with your perception and doesn't agree with your statement of the facts, which means I have a conflicting storyline here that puts me in a situation.
When you tell me she's unaware, I hear that and read that as you've accepted that she is unaware. It's not like
anybody.
It's not like you don't have to.
I haven't.
Because I'm not saying that you should. I wouldn't expect you to. I expect you to investigate.
No, on the language front, what I'm saying is diplomatically, because I'm not taking sides with either of you. I have two extraordinarily different statements of fact here. What I'm saying is that she is unaware of your storyline, your perceptions of, the hostility.
Did she say whether she actually told someone that I swore at her? Like, did you try?
I raised that with her, and I said, I understand from Jean Marie that in fact you stated that she swore, at you on one occasion, and she said that never happened. And she said, I don't agree, and so we've got.
I'm sorry, you said to her, pardon? Can you just restate what you said?
That you said that she had spread rumors that you had swore at her.
Yes, exactly. This is while I was on vacation.
Exactly. So she denied that, and so this is where we're going. So here's the situation. I don't want. It's not my role to make judgment here. That's not my job.
I'm not.
My role is to try and bring people together to resolve issues. If you don't want to resolve the issues through mediation, then the question is, what's left? And what's left is a formal process that you have to initiate. And I think we could potentially speak with ALOC and have them come to a meeting and have a chat with them and say, this is your situation, what's their advice? Because it's another union that's involved as well in my workplace. I'll have two unions involved as a result of this. I don't know what the outcome will be, whether it's, who knows what the outcome is. I don't know what would happen.
So you're telling me that she's absolutely denied saying that I had sworn at her?
I think she said she wasn't aware of what you were talking about.
She wasn't aware that she said that I sworn that she went to different counsel in the office and different people and said that Jean Marie is up to her old tricks again, and she swore at me. Is that what I'm hearing?
She said she's not aware of that issue.
I don't know what that means. That she said
she just said she wasn't aware of it. She doesn't know what you're talking about.
So that never happened, she's saying.
I don't know if she's saying that never happened. Maybe she's not recollecting it. I'm not cross-examining.
No, I know. I'm just saying.
I'm saying there are issues here.
Someone says they're not aware.
It's not a cross-examination. My meeting with Carol was we have issues. Jean Marie does not feel that she can work with you on a professional basis. She does not have a level of trust with you anymore.
Right.
Jean Marie is concerned about your behavior on a number of occasions. you know, I'm not gonna go into details, I
No,
can
no,
have
no,
all
I
the
don't
details.
expect you to
But,
do
you
that.
know, the bottom line is she was shocked and
completely
disappointed
saying
because her view was, yes, we had a rough, rocky road at one point, but I thought things were pretty good.
Well, okay, let's go
That
back
is
to
her
the word of
position.
perception. She knows that we've had meetings because she has
And she
said
didn't,
many
yeah, she said in
lies
the
and
past,
that
she
she
agreed.
has lied, so she's agreed that she's
Wow.
lied and we've had these meetings and stuff. Well, so then I'm being told, or I can gather from what she's saying, that the information that was provided to me was not true.
I don't think you can make that conclusion. I think what she's saying is, she thought your working relationship was actually on a positive.
It's
And
not.
she's surprised and kind of shocked and hurt. Like she's a, you know.
You know, I don't want to hear, quite frankly,
Well,
that Carol's being hurt.
No,
because
but
I know
that's her perspective.
That's,
I owe to you what I heard, and what she said is she's hurt because she felt that the relationship was actually improving.
the only problem with the relationship was that Carol started making up lies. She was upset about GTAP, and ever since GTAP, she's made up lies. I've forgiven her for those lies. I've accepted it. I've tried to work with her professionally. And then I find out while I'm on holidays that she's yet said another lie in saying that Jean Marie's up to her old tricks. And now I'm being told that she's unaware of the statement that she made. So it's either she made the statement or she didn't make the statement. But it's not, there's no ambiguity here. She made it or she didn't make it. If she didn't make it, then that's what I need to hear. To say she's unaware of the, obviously, if I'm going to find out that once again she's lying about me and spreading rumors in this office about me, that makes my work situation here. I can tell you, GTAP was not pleasant. The sort of reaction that I had to endure and the behavior of people in this office, not just Carol, but actually counsel as well, and I got the brunt of it because I was the counsel who was going out, and people's behavior was just absolutely, no, I don't think you understand though. New people coming in, these same sort of rumors are spread to them. And so if you're telling me that she's saying that she didn't say that, she's completely hurt. No, because I'm supposed to endure her making up stories, attacking my character, my profession as well, my professional character.
So why don't you say these things to her though instead of me? I don't understand why in a mediation you couldn't express these same concerns to the person who, you know.
Because the mediation sets it down and says there's two victims here. You tell me if someone came to you and said that they're being sexually harassed by someone in the office, you would send
I
them
would
to
never
mediation.
go mediation. Sexual harassment is a
Well,
completely
let me
different
tell you that
issue.
I see this as just as severe, okay? She's maligned my character, and she's made my life here at Pro very difficult and toxic. It's been a toxic environment. So the very fact that you can weigh and say the sexual harassment is somehow outweighs
Well,
my
it's a criminal
experience here.
allegation. I mean, as a legal director, and you know, like we have to tone this right down here. Like you're getting far too angry here. You can't be angry about something. I think that
Excuse me, if I'm angry, I'm not angry with you, I'm angry over the
understand.
situation, and I have a right to be angry.
But I want to
because
help
it's been
you.
4 years.
I want to help you. And I'm saying, what do we
You're
do?
telling me that she
How do
doesn't
I
know,
help you?
she's unaware of this.
She is.
That she's quick.
Or she's in
Well,
denial. Let's be honest. Don't cross-examine a woman. She's either being oblivious, she's either denying what she's done, having any
And that's
impact
not
on you, which
lying.
is just
Are you saying
infuriating.
she's lying?
Well, I don't know what she's doing.
Well, you're saying you don't know, but
I
you're saying
can't- I have
she's
no
either
idea.
oblivious.
No, but what
or
I'm saying
she's
is,
denying.
no, don't, just listen for a minute. What I'm saying is when someone reacts like that, they are either not aware of their behavior and the impact on you. They're either aware of it and dismissing it, all of which is in my mind, reprehensible. Trust me. If someone is hurting someone in my office, and they're trying to pretend that, they're oblivious or they aren't aware, sometimes being oblivious is just as harmful. Absolutely. And I think, the point is, you clearly have felt something very hard, and I totally see it with you, Jean. I understand it's not, we can't keep going like this. It's not manageable. And so I think in my role, and the mediator I've worked with in the past, my view is the mediator will either impress upon someone who's oblivious what the reality is and give them a big fat reality check. They're going to talk about a protocol for behavior and conduct, and you'll come into an agreement, hopefully, at the end of the day, what you expect from her and what she can expect from you. That's what a mediator is trying to do. I mean, you can't just keep going, I don't know, she says this, I said that. people.
That's not what I'm saying.
No, I'm saying this is from Carol's
right,
point.
then it can be investigated. If you're telling me she's oblivious, I'm telling you she's not oblivious. I'm telling you that she's intentionally said these lies that are harmful
No, I
and
totally
hurtful
understand your
and
position.
has spread them to other people. And you're asking me to sit down with the mediator as if I'm somehow a contributory to the dysfunction that's happening here between myself and Carol. I am not. I am a victim in this, and I'm not going to be.
You can go into mediation with that goal, though, which is, I want redress.
No, I
It's what you want ultimately. You
absolutely,
want
but
redress.
I will not work with Carol. Absolutely,
And
I will not subject myself to that. And I have to determine for me what is the appropriate position and how this shall proceed from here. Because this isn't the first time. There has been a long history. And we'd have these meetings, and again, because no one actually really reprimanded her, it was like, okay. And that gives her the idea that she can go back and conduct herself in the same way over and over again. The fact that we would go to, the fact that she can come and say it would be different if she said, you know what, I said it was wrong, and yes, perhaps we need to go to mediation. That would be maybe, but she's absolutely denying.
She's saying, she is saying that you've had a rough relationship. I mean, she did admit
The
to
relationship's been rough because of her, because each time she was caught in lies, and as I said, many times I wasn't aware of it. It came to me because we were discussing something else, and I'm talking about discussing with Barbara, discussing with Michelle, and then it's come up, and we've had to have these meetings, and you know, and
Oh, and I can understand
nothing.
your frustration, and
So,
as you said,
and
nothing changes.
Right, and to suggest that I've been not professional or that I don't participate in this, that I'm creating somehow an unhealthy work environment. This work environment is unhealthy.
I don't think I've said that. I think what I've said is that, you know, mediation is, you can try it, you can see if it gets where you want. If it doesn't do what you want it to do, and you don't get out of it what you want, then we can have a chat about what's next. I just think it was a good way for you to sort of,
I guess
to have the
you know,
clarity.
You know what I don't understand? I know, you don't necessarily know, but assume that you are me and you know this person has been lying and spreading rumors. This isn't the first time. It's been many times, and that you have let it slide. You've forgiven this person for this behavior, and you've gone on. And then again, it comes to your attention that this person has continued to behave in this way. Who knows what else she said that hasn't come to my attention? It's that this has specifically come to my attention. And someone's telling you to mediate. This person's lying. I don't see how mediation is going to, if you're suggesting that maybe she needs therapy, but I don't understand how mediation is going to help when someone's intentionally and willfully lying.
well, mediators do deal, I'm just saying in my experience, the mediator I've used has dealt with really toxic workplaces. We're not talking, you know, mediating between someone who's had a tip and needs something. These are really fundamental problems with the workplace where people cannot, the relationship's broken down completely. And these are experts in workplace effectiveness. I'm just saying it's an option. I like it as an option. I find it effective. My point is, you could go through the process. If it doesn't meet your needs, Jean Marie, we'd move to the next step.
But I'm telling you, I don't see how it can meet my needs when I'm going in knowing that someone is intentionally lying about me. And not just lying, but spreading. This is a person who put complete lies in a letter. And this letter was distributed to who knows who in the office, okay? Probably is still out there. I'm not going to subject myself once again to this woman, and it's unacceptable that I'm being asked to mediate with someone I know is a liar. You may not know she's a liar. I know she's a liar. I know we've had meetings. It's been discovered that she is a liar, okay? So, and I know that the information that was brought to me, I have no doubt that it is accurate, okay?
So I think, just picking up on what you said then, because your issue is, you don't see what help mediation would do when you know that you're right and you know that she's lying and what the hell. So what if, could I have this mediator who I've worked with in the past just speak to you confidentially about what she could do? Then you decide whether it's where you want to go.
That would be fine, but up until that happens, I will not work with Carol. I will not subject myself to that. This is a person who knows what next she's going to come up with. You know, there is no trust, and this is a person who's willing to do anything and say anything. The very fact that she can come to you and deny, that she is unaware, which I you
So
know, you
that's-
either said it or didn't say it. It's as simple as that. It's not like some really complex issue. It's not about people, you're talking about these toxic work environments. I can understand, and for me, this has been a toxic work
No, and you know, in
environment. I can tell you that.
some of the workplaces,
But-
Jean Marie, it is like this, where you've got somebody who really, you know, is getting, you know, really feels hard done by, and someone's just oblivious and continues
It's
to
not just
step
that I
on them
feel
every
hard
single
done,
day.
but I know that she has lied, that she spread these lies to other people, and that she has a history of this sort of behavior. It's abusive and it's harassment, and I'm not going to engage in any sort of contact with her ever again. Like, that is not, so if that is the goal of the mediation, then it's not going to work, because I do not want that, and I don't see why anyone would expect me to be subjected to that sort of behavior.
Okay.
I'm not just talking about people, you know, might not get along, or they might have different personalities, or they might just be
No, I agree. We're talking about a fundamental breakdown of a work relationship. It couldn't be worse.
if someone's
Absolutely.
lying, then there's
No,
a
I
problem.
understand.
I mean, there might be people in the office that you just don't get along
No,
with,
no.
or you don't see eye to
the
eye
trust-
with, or
you're
when
saying
you're, but I'm saying when I know
the
someone
trust
is
is gone.
absolutely lying, it's not the first time that we've had to have meetings about it, that, I mean, and in those meetings, you could come up with different stories, or it would go back and forth, and it would be, and she was actually, you know, would come with one lie, then that didn't work, okay, come up with another lie, okay, that didn't work, come up with another lie. So it's not like this was unaware, it's not like I'm the only person aware of this.
Okay, so let's do it in two steps then. So I'm going to speak to, her name is Leslie McLeod. She used to be, I think I wrote to you, Leslie
Yes.
used to be the Assistant Deputy Attorney General of government like
Right, okay.
12 years ago, and left to set up the ADR process for courts.
Okay.
She's now recognized, and she teaches at Osgood, and she's an amazing mediator, and she sets up. She's very well known in government. We use her for all our you know, our cases where, you know, there's some very difficult issues. I'm going to have her just call you and just
that'd be
explain what the situation. She doesn't know anything about the fact situation. I'll give her a precursor that. I'll give her the sort of the highlights of the situation. You feel free to speak to her at length, but see if she's someone that you could work with. And here's the other issue: can you work with her in any other way? Do you see that is there something she could do for you in any event that you find valuable? Just talk to her. I don't know what that would be.
Oh,
She's
see.
just a really
Right,
good.
okay.
She's good at even giving. I often use her, you know, professionally, just to give me advice about, you know, how to deal with situations and stuff. I don't know. Anyway, speak to her and satisfy yourself. If you're not satisfied, no harm done. You know, at least you kind of. I guess the next step could be we just meet with HR and see what they want to do. I mean, I'm very, you know, obviously I'm well aware of the WBHP policy, right? And we have a policy in the workplace that says that employees have a right to work, you know, free of any kind of discrimination and harassment. That process is fairly formal, and what happens there is that you would actually have to trigger, you know, a complaint under the policy, and then there would be a full-blown investigation. So that's another possibility. The other possibility is, you know, that we deal with your with ALOC and see how they want to proceed as well. They may have different. I don't know. You can even talk to them. You should speak to ALOC
I will.
and see what they want to do. Right?
Be speaking with
There's
them.
any number of options. My point is, I have to act on this. I'm just trying to do it in steps that I think, you know, aren't the big bang rate. I want to see if we can work together. If not, I think we do have to probably push it through a formal complaint process. Because it doesn't help if it's just been going around and around. And my point is, mediation can resolve things. It can involve the parties to an actual signed agreement about behavior and conduct and protocol. There can be a solution for me where I do formally move work around. I mean, that might be part of the agreement among all of us. The difficulty for me now is, you know, to say to Carol, you're moving over here, you know, without any reason, rationale, finding a fault. She's in the same boat that she will also have complaints about that. And so, you know, if it, and that might be part of an agreement, though.
The situation is as, you know, she's agreed, the pressures that she's experiencing, which are, I guess, that I know, that I'm once again aware that she's fabricating stories about me, then for both of us, it's best that we not work together. I cannot deny it.
And in mediation, Jean Marie, that might be something that you table and say, this is what I expect, this, that, the other thing, and I also, at the end of the day, I don't want to work, you know, with her.
Well, I will speak to Leslie just to determine, but from where I'm sitting here, it doesn't seem like it's going to be a viable solution, because as I said, this isn't the first time or the second or even the third time that, and I'm concerned again, because as I said, it's not like she came to you and said, you know what, I said that, it's not true, I don't know why I said it, just, I don't know, it slipped out and then once it was, whatever. That would be a different situation. So she's coming to you and she's telling you she's unaware, that shows me that's someone who's not contrite, and that's someone who would continue to behave the way she's behaving and the way she's behaved in the past.
I'm not in a position where I don't want to judge people right now.
Well, I'm not asking you to judge. I'm telling you that is, and you can't, and that is fine. I'm not, I don't need you to judge her.
But what I can is understand, I can understand.
Whatsoever.
I can understand your issues, and I can say that, you know, I do want to address them in a constructive way. And one of the good things, again, pushing the mediation thing is, if we can get the agreement of both of you to a solution, which could include moving work around, that helps me then implement it, obviously.
Quite frankly, at this point too, I don't even know that the way I'm feeling and about the history, I feel like there's got to be something more severe. When people in the workplace create an environment that is toxic, because that's what it has been for me. When people are spreading things that are untruthful about you, and that's one thing to shoot indiscriminately to just anybody, with the intent to put, obviously, someone in a bad light, that's problematic. And I don't think that an agreed statement of facts between us might be the answer to this sort of behavior.
Yeah, I don't know.
I don't know. It cannot continue.
Yeah,
and when I look at everything else that has surrounded it, then, and I see the impact that it has made on my life, absolutely not. And there are people in the office who are well aware of what has happened in this office.
Yeah, no, I don't disagree, and I think you can ask Leslie those questions.
Right,
this is what I look. This is where I am. This is the kind of redress that I'm thinking of. You know, is this something we're going to explore? Because you know, you have to say, it's not about. For me, from what I hear from you, it's also about acknowledging the past in an accurate way.
Because it's brought it back up again. This behavior.
And you may
She's
say that.
come up with yet again another falsehood that, you know, might not have come to my attention. And who knows how many there have been during this period of time. And I've been professional, so, and for me to hear that I need to contribute to, and you're relying on me, that's not helpful. I have been more than professional and understanding in ways that I can't picture anyone else in this office putting up with what I'd have to put up with. Absolutely not.
So just as I said, I'm relying just on some patience. I've been on the job for 4 weeks.
No, I appreciate that.
I'm trying my best to address
this would have been an issue if she hadn't created yet another situation.
No, it would be an issue though, ultimately. You know, it just, those things don't go away,
Well, we were, you know, I was working together with her, and it was fine. Obviously, in my interactions with her, it's always present that, you know, you have, you know, committed certain behaviors, but I was willing to overlook them and to continue for us to, you know, have an office relationship. So, but I'm saying I will not work with her so there's got to be some sort of interim solution to this.
I don't know. This is the problem for me. I don't know if, you know, if I can just reassign work on the basis
well, maybe
of
she
that.
can ask. Maybe she'll be happy not to
she
work
may.
with me.
I didn't want to address it. I'd rather, you know, you guys talk about it, and it's your solution, not mine.
Right.
It's more powerful when it comes from you.
Yes,
Me imposing it, no one's happy.
Well, certainly you could go back to her and say that I've indicated that I don't wish to work with her, and she might just be like, yeah.
The problem is, I'm sure I have many people across the office that don't want to work with each other. You know, it's not, from me, it's not managing the problem.
Yeah.
That's
different if people just don't want to work together because they just don't like each other for whatever reason. Sometimes there's no merit to this, there's merit to it, and I'm not, and I don't, as I told you, see it any different than any other point. I feel that I have been harassed and I've been discriminated against in this office. It's been allowed to go unchecked. That's why Carol can feel that she can have the gall, actually, to come up with yet another lie against me. And there is no way I'm going to work with this woman again. So I'm not sure what has to happen, but I know that I am responsible for certain courts, and I'm not leaving those courts behind. You know, in Hamilton, I have to attend the bench and bar today. That's a court that I go to. Brentford, those are the only courts. I mean, our interaction is, you know, limited anyways, because it's not like, you know, we as council here have like the secretaries or people who need to be back and forth with throughout the day. But I'm saying I absolutely, and if it means going to ALOC or any other resolution to this matter, because when I look at the history of the things that have happened in this office, and I know other people, as I said, are aware of the history of what's happened in this office and the different meetings and the different things that I've had to endure, that has given Carol the idea that she can behave and say anything against me and it's fine, then
So I think the bottom line is, Jean Marie, I understand, you know, everything you're saying. We'll have Leslie give you a call. But on the issue of the work, that's my decision. It's my decision about who works for whom. And that is the reality. I understand your issues. I also have a different perspective from another employee. I can't just make those decisions without some kind of rationale. What I'm saying is I think we'll get there because ultimately there's going to be a decision made on this file, whether it's by a mutual agreement of you guys or whether it's by conclusion of certain investigation and facts by me and my, you know, HR. I can't, you know, I have to talk to HR about your comments
I
on
think
that. You're not cutting me much slack.
No, you know, and that's making me feel like you're putting a certain pressure on me.
No, I'm saying it's my job. I understand
what I've had to go through. When someone
totally
is coming up in line, it's not like I'm, you know, there's someone in the office where you just don't get along.
The management of the office and the staff is my job, and it's my decision.
Well, that's why
I'll make I understand, but I'll make the decision.
Right.
Because that has impact on other staff, and it has impact on council. I have to determine the impact of that before I do that.
Well, that's fine, but I'm just saying that I will not subject myself to be vulnerable again to her behavior, which, as far as I'm concerned, it's not just unethical, it's offensive.
I understand. So let's see if we can move the yardstick a bit forward and keep going on this. Have a chat with Leslie and you tell me what you think. I haven't responded to anybody yet. If it's a go, we'll set it up as soon as possible. If it's not, then let's sit down and discuss what our next steps are. And I think the next steps really are probably pulling in HR to help give me advice on where I need to take this. But we will go somewhere on this. I can assure you that I'm just not going to have these conversations forever without a resolution. And I don't know what the solution will be at the end of the day, but you know, you've given me enough information that I absolutely plan to do something. So I can promise you that. I'm a woman of action.
No, I'm not.
We will figure this out. But you know, let's take it a step at a time, just because it's so big. And I'll give you Leslie's number.
Okay.
I'll try and have, as I said, a quick chat. I tried to put a call into her on Friday, and then we couldn't reach each other. She called me yesterday morning, and I was at the conference.
Okay, fine. I will talk to Leslie, absolutely.
Yeah, she's
problem
lovely.
with that.
She's lovely, but you know, you can have a candid conversation about, you know, about your expectations. I think that's completely fair. Why would you go into it unless she understands your expectations and can assure you that this isn't a phenomenal waste of your time? I totally understand you. I just happen to know it isn't a waste of time, but you need to know that. You need to hear it
Well,
from her.
I mean, and the way you feel about the mediation is the way I feel about my interaction with Carol. I know what my experience has been. I know whether what she said is truthful or not truthful. And I also know that there is things that have happened in the office that corroborate my position.
I know that.
I'm saying,
So we'll see what Leslie can say to you.
But in the interim, because I will not subject myself to, yet again, something else that she can run and tell. Because keep in mind, this isn't something she told me. This is something that she's told other people in the office, and it's come back to me. So I'm not going to, because again, things could be working fine, and not to say that that conversation that I had was, she was just behaving completely unreasonable.
No,
but
in the meantime, I have to phone Ministry of Attorney General and I have to raise the issue.
right,
I have a request, they'll have to give me advice on
Right.
what my response should be.
and as I said, what she does is very limited. And right now, in terms of the files and stuff, if it's something large files, and she's not there, and if I'm able to drop them off, but in terms of anything else that needs to get to her immediately, I give it to my secretary. So
Okay, well, I
there's
understand
no that
that.
I will not.
I'll figure it out, and I mean, you know, Shelley, I have to be concerned obviously about Shelley too. She has other stuff that she's
Why?
supposed to be doing, and
Well,
you know.
Shelley's the secretary, and I can tell you that there's very little secretarial work that Shelley does for me. So that is not something that is using up a lot of her time. I'm sure, as you
She says she does
aware.
secretarial support to the director's office, right? So, and she's pretty busy with RVP right now.
But yeah, well, she's supposed to. I don't know if that would pulled her off from providing secretarial support to council here, but I'm
Right.
telling you that I don't use her.
I know.
At all. Like
No.
we don't. It's like I function without a
Yeah.
secretary. So for her to take something and bring it to Carol is not using up a
Yeah.
lot of her time. If that's not something in police director, you know, you want her to be doing anything. I mean, it would fall within what secretaries do in any event. Then that's fine, but.
I have
I can tell you it's not taking up her time because
Yeah,
she doesn't
I
do
realize.
anything else for me. She doesn't write for me. She doesn't.
It's just a decision I have to make. I'm aware of it. I just have to, as I said, get some advice and I'll get back to you.
Right.
Okay.
Okay, and then in terms of Deanne, I just wanted to let you know that, and just to also
Yeah.
make it clear that I don't see that at all in the same light as I see this situation.
It's just, again, you know, what I, obviously, you know, I can give advice to people based on my experience and my leadership, but if people don't want to follow up on what's advice,
Right.
I'm in the same boat as I
Yeah.
am. I mean,
I'm going to look into because
it's a little disappointing, obviously, but,
right. Disappointing and not surprising and very much in keep with everything else that seems to happen here at this office and keeping, not to say that I would think anyone else would do what she did.
no, and she certainly had, as we said, we've had a very deep conversation on that,
I
and,
don't want to suggest
but,
that. I don't think anyone, I can't imagine.
no, I obviously, I wasn't, happy about what she did.
No,
And,
and
she
I
knows it, so,
appreciate that.
and
Right.
I called her up on the carpet as soon as I even heard about it.
Right.
So,
Yeah, just so, you know, to that is something else that I will be bringing up to AWOC because, you know, I want something done about it.
Yeah.
The fact that she did that.
yeah, and I think, we'll have to, you'll have to keep me in the loop on that one.
Right,
What
yeah,
we do
I
about it,
just
I
wanted
think
to
she's
let you
been, orally reprimanded certainly.
Right, and I don't think given the gravity of what she did, that the oral is enough in this situation. So I'll be looking into that. So, and obviously she doesn't, I can only assume she doesn't feel confident about it because she certainly hasn't approached me.
I don't know your relationship at all.
But whether
certainly
we
her
have a
relationship-
relationship or not,
Yeah,
I mean, that's what
yeah,
I would think.
I
we
wouldn't
could
say
do
it's
something
great,
like that.
no doubt about that. So, the saga continues, but as I said, we'll keep working to fix this stuff, right? It's
Okay.
gotta be fixed. I just,
And you can appreciate that it has been to have to work in this office to know that things are being spread, lies, and not just orally, but in writing and stuff.
No,
and
we have to
distributed
get to the
to
bottom
other
of it.
people in the office
Yeah,
and
and-
stuff, and to know that this is being done despite the fact that we had meetings and stuff where it's come out in the open that she has lied. Right.
no, we'll be dealing with it. As I
Not
said,
concerned about it.
you've got my commitment, but
Okay.
one way or
Well,
another,
wait,
we are
you
going
wanna
to
give
deal with
me
this.
Leslie's number?
I'll phone you.
Oh,
It's just, it's
okay,
in my
sure.
roll,
Okay, great,
my
so I'll
office.
wait for that.